Hi, I'm Whitney Pursuto, and this is day one of vlogging my life. This comes from a place of always wanting to journal, feeling the benefits of journaling, but having a lot of trouble with the actual act of writing things down on a piece of paper. I'm a writer by trade, which is like kind of the crazy thing, but I have so much trouble journaling, and I think it comes from some kind of I don't know, emotional damage as a child. My journal was read by my sisters. But there's a block there and I can't do it. So I've decided if I want to continue down this road of being a person who journals, I need to find a way that works for me. So we are going to try a daily journal of at least 15 minutes to kind of get things out. Because one of the most important things that I want to do is record these early days. I am dead set on becoming a best-selling author. And I mean that by best-selling, I mean simply just making a living from writing words and all the elements that go with it. And to do that, I need to be consistent. And I think having a record of the early days will benefit me down the road. And that's something I've never done before. I've never kept good records of things. So if we want to change our results, we need to change our process, right? So that's what I'm doing, changing the process. And so a couple of things that I want to do on a daily basis. I am not recording this right now with the intention of it being watched by anyone ever. If it happens to be, that's great. If it doesn't, then it's for me anyway. So who cares? I don't even plan to watch it. I plan on recording it as a cathartic, sort of therapeutic outlet. So yeah, I don't know where I was going there. Anyway, so a couple of things I hope to do every day. Hopefully I will remember. The first one is to discuss my momentum of the day. What is driving me? And I wish that I could, show a screenshot or knew how to do it like live while I'm filming a video. I do not. I'm just using my computer camera, but like just imagine it's here. That shows my momentum of the day. My momentum of the day today is the fact that I've hit $100 in my royalties estimator for all of the money I've ever made. So I'm actually at $120. So imagine that's right here, a little screenshot of showing my KDP thing of $120. I will say a lot of that goes towards half of it goes towards my children's book that my friends and family purchased, but that's okay because we're starting. We only have 1.5 books out there that aren't that, and also making money off that still counts. That's actually my own name. I will say that is sort of a waning number because my graph is kind of going down right now, and so I might need to work on a better momentum builder, but that's what we're using now. And actually, honestly, no, I'm going to take that back. My momentum is not that because I'm already making excuses for it. My momentum for the day is recognizing the importance of momentum, that I need to maintain a sense of momentum in order to continue growing something. That when you lose momentum is when you get stuck and when you stop achieving what you're looking for. So that is my momentum of the day, is recognizing the importance of momentum. And to be honest, it might be my momentum other days too. So if we are looking at what else I want to talk about is, I don't know. I want to say something I'm grateful for, and I'm going to be honest. Gratitude has always been another issue of mine, and it's not that I'm not grateful for things. It's that I feel a sense of resistance when it comes to gratitude. It feels selfish to me, right? And I don't know why, but it's how I feel, and that's what I'm going with. But I am grateful for a lot of things today. I'm grateful that I have the time and the ability to build a building. I do not have the ability to build a building from scratch, to build a business from scratch. I've done it before. I know I can do it again. My first business was not a multi-million-dollar, it wasn't even a single $1 million business. It did hit 6 figures, but it was on the low end, and it was over the course of over a year. So It was not something that was like an amazing success right off the bat. And that's why I think it's great, because that's what I'm planning on happening with this business, my publishing, my writing business. This is another one that I think is going to take time to build, and that's okay. I'm looking at other people who started 2 years before me, and they're now in the 5-figure month, 6-figure years, and I'm not there yet. I am in the 1-figure days, if I can get to 1 figure. And I mean that, like right now I'm at 80. I'm looking at my dashboard over here, and I'm at 87 cents for the day. I've had 2 orders, which I sell my book on Kindle for 99 cents. So I make like 35 cents a day on that. And then I have page reads on Kindle Unlimited. And so today, as of 12:15 p.m. on May 12th, I have 2 orders and 38 pages read. I can't look at like other days. Over the course of the month, I have 50 orders and 3,500 pages read. So that's all right. We are 12 days in. So what does that mean in terms of an average? Let's look at what we would be looking at. So we're going to say, actually, you know what? I'm going to subtract today, because today's not a full day yet. So if we're looking at 31.75 minus 87 cents, which is where I am today, then we're going to divide that by 11. We're making about $2.80 a day on my 1 book. And I will say it's probably going to go down unless, Jesus, what am I doing? Unless I continue to promote it, which I am. That's part of the momentum. And then it's going to go up, because I'm going to build more books, and they're going to read those books, and then they're going to want to read this book. So I have faith. That's one of the most important things. I'm also grateful for the hope that I still hold. Something else, I just listened to Mel Robbins. Who was she talking to? I don't actually know if it says it on her podcast, which is kind of annoying. Does it say it? Lewis Howes. So the name of the podcast is If You're Uncertain, if you feel overwhelmed, oh my gosh, it's too long of a title. I can't get to it. If you feel overwhelmed and uncertain about money, listen to this, I think is what it was. I don't know. It's like scrolling across the screen, so whatever. And I got that in an email today or yesterday maybe, and it felt very universe divine. And I'm just like following the breadcrumbs. So I am on that email list. I've never listened to Mel Robbins before. I have nothing against Mel Robbins. I just haven't never gotten around to listening to her. I don't think I've read any of her books. I don't think I own any of her books. Although sometimes I do get weird books. No, that's Brene Brown. Yeah, I don't think I own any of her books, but sometimes I do hear her name. And I was actually working on a copywriting client who wanted to fashion their newsletter in a similar vein to what Mel did. So I joined Mel's newsletter as a result, and this was recently. And I get her emails, and I don't actually read them that much because I'm not working with the client on the newsletter anymore, so it's not that top of mind for me. But if I go back and I look at what her subject line was, if I can find it. Oh gosh, I don't know what email I put that on. Oh, that's the same one. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, I'm on the wrong one. Okay. Yeah, so here's the subject line. Whitney, if you're stressed about money, I've got you. What a great subject line, by the way, because that is something that I am definitely feeling. I almost want to use it on my email, because why not? Why not be more real? I will say a lot of what I write is with a cover letter, or I'm losing my mind 9 minutes, with a pen name, so it's not really coming from me. So maybe I have the freedom of being even more, being even more truthful, because it's not necessarily coming back to me. Anyway, I was listening to that podcast today, and Lewis, I think I said his name was, talks a lot about your money story. And one of the things that I took away is like, what are the things from your childhood that you think are affecting the decisions you're making now, or the relationship you have with money now? And something with me that I recognize are a couple of things. We never had enough money as a family when I was a child, which is fine. Like, my dad worked really hard. My mom was a stay-at-home mom for the most part. She did hold odd jobs occasionally in like retail. But a couple of things I remember recalling that I don't think I necessarily would think are like foundational, but looking back on them, maybe they were. One was that when we would shop a lot at Once Upon a Child or at thrift stores like that to get clothing, and there came a time when I would be very intentional on picking things that would not stand out. Even if I really liked something, if it was really interesting in some way, I would not pick it because I was always scared that it was something someone else had from my class or my classes had like donated, and then they would know that's where I got it. Or if it was something that I felt like would be obvious that it was like last season of, like Abercrombie last season's t-shirts, they'd be like, well, you weren't wearing it this past season. And I honestly don't know if I ever had an experience where someone was actively like saying that I ever bought something. They're like, oh my God, I donated that. I don't know if that happened or if I just made it up in my mind as like a possibility that I needed to avoid. And it's kind of interesting because I actually shop at Once Upon a Child for my kids a lot now, and I like to get the interesting things. I think that's the only place I can find them without, paying an arm and a leg. They're young enough where they're not worried about it anyway yet, but I do want to try and like facilitate not passing down that particular money story. The other one that I have been thinking a lot about is like vacations. Vacations were a stressful time as kids. I remember my vacations very fondly, and they were like differentiators of our scenario, of our situation, right? So like, I felt like if we said we could go on a vacation and I could tell my friends that we went on vacation, that meant we're like, okay. Because we didn't always go on vacations. So, and we never went anywhere. Like, we didn't go to Florida Beach. We didn't go to Myrtle Beach, which like, we were from Ohio, and that was like the big things that you went to. We would go to like Illinois and visit my cousins. We went to Colorado once, which was like a huge vacation because we took an airplane. But so now like vacations are really big for me, for my kids. But they are a point of stress because like they're expensive, especially now. The world is like insane. I want to continue doing vacations, but I also don't want to put this kind of pressure on them, because that pressure starts to seep out and they start to pick up on it, right? I don't think they're there yet, but they might be a little bit. And so I need to be really cognizant of that. So like, we are going to Disney, which I paid for before I was in not as much of a money chokehold. We've been planning on this Disney trip for a while. So we're going to Disney in a couple weeks, and I'm trying to like make every single plan so it's not a stressful thing. We have the meal plan, which is great. We have money that I made, like we have a Disney credit card, so all of the money that we have from that, I shouldn't eat during these, but I'm like nervous eating. I've been using that for all of our spend for the last few months. So we have a few hundred in like money we can use at Disney there. And then we use the travel agent, which I actually do most of the stuff by myself. But if we use the travel agent, we got a $100 gift card for using the travel agent. And she also like made sure we got the stuff that we wanted. So there was definitely value there, and we don't pay for it. So we'll have, I don't know, something around $400, $500 in spend, and I'm like telling myself that that's going to be enough. That it has to be enough because we don't have a lot of extra outside of that. We'll have to bring some money for tips, but other than that, it's like we are doing things for free. I don't know where I was going with that. I did hit 15 minutes. Okay. Talk a little bit about my publishing. Because this is the stuff that hopefully down the line when I'm successful, I'll be able to share. Let's go into it. So right now, I'm just going to look at what I have. I look at my Kindle dashboard. Technically, I have 37 books, I think. Because, maybe 38. Because I have a bunch of like notebooks and I don't know how to delete them. Because they don't sell. I don't do anything with them. But they're there. I kind of like them. So, but the only books I have that I'm actually selling right now, there are 4 books. There are 2 under my name. Actually, I should say there's not 4. There's 3 with 1 on pre-order right now. Do I have any pre-orders for it? I think I have 1. Yes, 1 pre-order. But I suck at that's what I need to do. Momentum. I need to market this book. Anyway, I'm going here or there. So I have 2 in my name. One that's live, it's been live for about a month, and one that's in pre-order. Those are children's books. They are meant for for girls who are starting to read chapter books. They're in the same vein and length of like an I Survived book, which is sort of my inspiration, although they are not the same content at all. I Survived books are historical fiction. These books are just fiction. I call them girl power books because they are meant to inspire and motivate girls to become themselves and be confident in that in a time where it's so easy to not be, especially end of elementary school, starting of middle school. It's a very hard time. And so those books I have, my first one is out and it is sold to family and friends. Okay. But I don't have any sort of wide release. My second book is called Welcome to Lake Torture, a Grace Meadows novel. This is pre-order. It's going to come out on the 15th, so it's come out in 3 days. I don't think it's going to sell as well unless I start marketing it now, which I definitely will. And the whole point of that is like to build a little bit of a back catalog before I start really trying to market it. I don't have any email list. I don't have anything because I don't know how to build that stuff for this kind of book. My other pen name, Emily Gaze. I say 1.5 books out. I have a novella, which is my like free lead magnet called Notes of Desire that actually sold pretty well as well. It has helped me create a email list of, I don't have it open now, about a little over 1,000 people, maybe 1,100. And then I have my first full-length book called Exposed by the Billionaire. And that is the one that I'm currently marketing. That's the one that's making me 87 cents today. This is another case where like I need to build more. My hair's looking really blonde today, by the way. I need to build out my library, my catalog, before I think I'm really going to start growing the business. But that takes time because I'm writing my books myself. So that's where I am right now. I don't want to make this too long. Not that anybody's watching this. But yeah, okay, my goals. Let's go over goals. So I have a goal to make $5,000 a month. Right now, when I'm at $30 a month, that seems impossible. But that is my goal, $5,000 a month from publishing. So that could be the books under my name. That could be the books under Emily Gaze's name. That could be the books under another name. That's the goal. $5,000 a month publishing. I would like to do that by the end of the year. So by December, I need to make a thing that shows my goals. That's something else I'm going to put on my to-do list. I should do this in the morning. Or actually, I should do this late at night and make my goals for the next day. So I'm going to probably film tomorrow's tonight at like midnight. So I might be wearing the same outfit. Be prepared. Yeah, I think that's all I got for today. This is just the start. It will become somewhat of a series, but thanks for watching.